So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Wanna go sheets? Hunter and I are starting things off today with a sheets run. Hunter is not much into wearing jackets or coats. So on a cold morning like today, I always fire up the Blue Roo, let it warm up for about a half hour, and then we're ready to go. So I just ran down to the woodshed here to get a little bit of firewood to top off the wood racks. But I was thinking, wood heat is a lot of work. Don't let anybody tell you different. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't. Sometimes good things come from a little bit of work. You know what I mean? In my opinion, there is no heat comparable to wood heat. There's just not, which is amazing. With all the technology out there, nothing feels as good on a cold day like today when you're outside than to go in and stand by that wood stove. There's nothing like it. Something worth a mention that I'm pretty happy with. This past year, before we filled up the woodshed, I put a wood floor in here. I just sawed some random stuff on the sawmill, but everything is 1.5 inches thick. And I've got some stringers underneath of it, but that is a game changer right there. For years, I just used pallets, and they only last like, I don't know, if you get 1.5 years out of them, you're doing pretty good. And it's not a big deal with pallets when you're working off of this front row or even the second row. It's when you're walking back into the back of the woodshed later in the winter and you're busting through them, you're turning your ankle and all that. But yeah, this was a big improvement right here. So far this winter, we went through one row and a little bit of the second one. A lot of that was also used on the Brio pit as well, but we're definitely stocked up for this year. And speaking of stocked up, we have fire starter available. This is the third time in about a month. We kept selling out really fast. And I know a lot of people are giving it away as gifts. It works fantastic, but it is back on the website this morning. We have boxes of 10, boxes of 5. We have the 2 for $25 and the ever popular 4-pound bags. So this will definitely be it until after the first of the year. So if you want some, now's the chance. There'll be a link in the description and a pinned comment as well. I think what is happening, I mentioned this before, people were giving it away as gifts, and then those people, they like it, it works fantastic, then they want more. So it's just a nice steady growth, and we may have underestimated a little bit on how much people would want it, because like one bag, one of the small bags, you can start like 30 fires with it, and people are buying a whole bunch of it, and every time we would sell it, we would think that would be it for a while, and then the next time we put it on, it was the same thing once again. So we're doing what we can to kind of increase production, and it's the shipping. It takes a lot of time as well. So we're getting better at all that. But anyway, it's on the website right now if you want some, and it'll ship out within the next couple of days, and you'll have it for Christmas. Like I said, if you know somebody that burns wood in a wood stove, fireplace, Brio, Solo, anything, it works fantastic. It'll be a gift that they can really like, and then they'll come back. So that's all good. And if none of your friends burn wood, you should probably look for some additional friends. You know what I'm saying? So it is a really nice day today. It's warming up a little bit, probably about 22 degrees, but I am splitting some of this, I call this, what would you call this? Not really, kind of pizza wood, kind of small solo, small brio. I don't know. We always get asked for this type of wood, so we're going to stockpile a bunch of it for next summer. But that's some nice cherry right there. I was going to split some more, but I got to go put out a fire. So we got a scathing review on the fire starter. I have always prided myself on all the positive reviews, and I want to explain something here for everybody's benefit. James wrote a review. He said, awful, no product, and charged me $38. That was his review, 1 star. So I immediately texted Levi, okay? Levi's on top of this stuff. He checked it out, and this is what I got from Levi. It was ordered on 11/24, shipped on 11/27, and delivered on 12/3. We have all that documentation to prove that. Now, it could have been delivered to the wrong address. Could happen. Levi told me out of about every 400 things that we ship, whether it be a hat, fire starter, whatever it is, it's about 1 out of every 400 will get lost or whatever. And we just eat that and we'll replace it as soon as we find out about it. It's what we do. It's not a big deal. Now, people have their favorites, you know. It's kind of funny because we ship USPS because we get the best rates from them. But like when we get deliveries here, it's kind of an ongoing joke. We prefer UPS here over FedEx. USPS, we have a good mailman here as well. But when you hear from other people, like we have a neighbor or a friend of ours 5 miles from here, and they don't like UPS, they like FedEx. Bottom line is this: no matter where this stuff is going, you may have kind of a screwed up post office or UPS or whatever. But if a problem arises, such as this, all you have to do is email us and we will take care of it immediately. That's all you got to do. It's no big deal. So I'm going to go up right now and try to call this guy, James. Levi has it ready to ship if we can confirm. Maybe he got it after the review. No, he left the review on 12/27 and it shows delivered on 12/13. So somebody probably got 2 1.75 pound bags of fire starter and they have no idea who sent it to them or why it was sent to them. But like I said, if you don't get it, I think we have on the website, we'll ship within 5 or 7 days. It normally ships within 2, sometimes 3 at the most. So if you don't get it like within a week or so, you know, after that ship date, just send us an email and we'll take care of it. It's real easy that way. So I'm going to call James and try to go over this with him, and we'll get him his product and everything will be good. All right, just came up to the building. I think in a little bit, I'm not sure, but I think daughter Eve and I got to get out of the sun there. I think daughter Eve and I are going to go out hunting here in just a little bit. I'll put a little drive on for her. We'll see how that goes. But I just left a message for James, the guy that left the review, said he didn't get his product. Waiting to hear back from him. So that's taken care of for now, but I want to show you something. The other day, the door was frozen on my skid loader. It's got one of those buttons on it, and I was down at the Woodyard, so I came up in my truck. I got Melissa's hair dryer, and then I plugged it into the bed of the truck. I've got power on board on that Ford, and I thawed the lockout. Well, a lot of people said I should get a DeWalt heat gun, which I did not know existed until you told me that. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I went and got one, and since I've had it just a couple days ago, I have used this 3 different times already. It's that time of year. You know what I mean? It's cold. Now this, it makes a lot of heat. I'm sure it eats batteries. I've got a big one on there now, but it makes a lot of heat, and it's got a fan on there. It doesn't blow with near the velocity of like a hair dryer, but it gets hot. It does. It puts some heat out, and it gets warm quick, real quick. So this is pretty handy just to keep in the truck or the side-by-side for down at the Woodyard, because stuff just freezes up this time of year, especially with the weather we've been having. It'll get real cold like this, and then it'll warm up, and you'll get a bunch of rain, and everything's wet with moisture in it, and then next thing you know, it's 15 degrees in the morning. So far, pleasantly surprised. Thanks for the recommendation. All right, Melissa's kind of parked in the way here, so just gonna go around. Eve is opening up the gate. We're gonna go out and do some hunting. I think it's colder today. I think it's colder today than it was yesterday.
Really? I think it's warmer.
I don't know. I've been out in it a lot today. All right, so you ready for this?
Yep.
All right. Tomorrow's the last day.
Yeah, but today might be my last day.
Oh, can't you hunt tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
You need to prioritize your time.
I'm a busy girl.
Okay, Eve and I just took a little ride. We saw a 5 doe. We basically took the long way to the mini cabin, but I dropped her off in there. I'm gonna go down by Levi's house like I did last night. I'll park down there, wait about 15 minutes or so, and then I'll walk up through this valley towards Eva. Last night we moved some deer her way. Maybe we'll do the same tonight. We'll see. But just this little bit of snow on the ground makes all the difference in the world. Especially when it's like this. Right after it snows and it's all sticking to all the limbs, you can't see really anything at all. But this is kind of nice here. It's kind of the same old thing. It's real cold today. It was cold yesterday. And I think tomorrow it's going to warm up a little bit. And then the following day they're calling for freezing rain. And then it's going to warm up to about 48, 49 degrees the following day. So just have to look everywhere. These things will let you drive right by them, and then sometimes they'll bust out of there 200 yards ahead of you. You just don't know. All right, I've been sitting here for about a half hour. As soon as I left Eva, she had one doe go by her, and I saw two down over this hill. I'm pretty sure they're both doe, but we're just kind of letting things settle out for a little bit. But here in a few minutes, I'm going to start walking towards her to give you some idea where we're at. Mini cabin, that direction, about 1,200 feet. Levi and Kate's house is just down over that hill right there. But this area right in here has been real hot this year. If you go down that way another couple hundred yards, it's a neighbor's place, and it's real thick behind him. And they kind of like it on this side hill right here. After being out in Colorado there a couple months ago, it's funny how different it is hunting here, but yet how many similarities there are, you know? The biggest difference is it's just so big out there, but at least where we were hunting, you don't have a million trees between you and what you're after like you do here. So like out there, I saw elk at 400 yards that would be a much easier shot than one, you know, a deer here at 100 yards, just because you got to pick an opening in all these trees. All right, Eva had a few more doe go up by her, but that's about it. I'm going to head back to the buggy. Then I'll wait a little bit and go pick her up. All right, just got back to the buggy. Eva saw a couple more doe. And you know what's funny? The other day, I was out in the woods and I did a video. And I mentioned we saw like 15 or 20 doe, whatever it was. And I had a bunch of people tell me that the plural form of doe is does, D-O-E-S. And I thought they were crazy, but you know what? I think they're right. I do. But all I know is I have lived around here for 58 years, and nobody, I mean nobody, calls them does. If you see one doe, it's one doe. If you see 20 doe, it's 20 doe, not 20 does. But we just do things a little bit different, I guess, so I'm not going to change, just so you know. I need to yank that down sometime, hanging over the trail. All through here is where those straight line winds, or whatever they were, ripped through here a couple years ago. There's still wood laying everywhere I could get to. Need to do that sometime. Like, there's a big cherry right there, maple right there, and everything is headed that direction. Whole way up by the mini cabin, that's what took out all those trees. The whole way over to the old apple orchard. They're all laying that way. So what'd you see, about 5 or 6, you say?
Yeah, just some doe.
Or doe.
Or does.
Or does. Dosey does. All right, it is the last day of deer season here in Pennsylvania, rifle season. Nephew Christian was out this morning. He saw some doe. I'm not sure if daughter Eva is going to get out today or not. She's at college, kind of packing up for Christmas break. So she'll be home at some point. I just don't know if it will be in time to go hunting or not. But I wanted to run out here real quick and swap out this battery and this trail camera out here. It's still Nice and frozen out here right now, but it's supposed to warm up to 40 today, and then freezing rain tomorrow morning, turning to rain. So that'll be a big mess. I want to show you something. So this is my 2016 Subaru Crosstrek. It's got about, I think about 130,000 miles on it. It's got a little 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine in it, about 148 horsepower. I drive this car a lot. I do. For local trips, just running to the store, you know, anything local, I drive the Blue Roo. It's just good for around here. And I also drive this. This is my 23 Ford Super Duty F350. It's got the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel, 475 horsepower. It's the Lariat. Pretty well decked out. Very nice truck to drive. But I don't drive this. Occasionally I do, but most of my just running around is in the blue Subaru. And I kind of like the Subaru for that. I use the truck more for when I'm towing or hauling something or taking a trip. It's a great vehicle for all those kind of things. But I learned something driving both of these vehicles. Now, when I'm out on the road in the Super Duty or the Subaru, you know, you run into those drivers sometime that probably shouldn't be on the road. I think most drivers are probably pretty decent and safe and respectful. You just don't pay attention to them because they're just kind of out there on the road doing their thing, what they're supposed to do. But there are a lot of drivers out there that will cut you off. They tailgate, pass you in no passing zones. You see it almost all the time. And I see it whether or not I'm driving the Super Duty or if I'm driving the Subaru. However, it's very clear that when driving the Subaru, I get cut off more, I get tailgated more. I don't know what it is, but it's not like I'm driving any slower. On the back roads, I'm probably driving a little bit faster in the Subaru just because it handles the curves a little bit better than the Super Duty. But I have witnessed a noticeable difference. Like I said, it happens in both vehicles, but when I'm driving the Subaru, it's considerably worse, like a lot worse. You know, I was just out the road this morning in the Blue Roo, coming home, and some people are just in a huge hurry, but other people are just oblivious to what they're doing, I think. You know, like I've had people tailgate me, you can't even see their headlights. They're so close to the back of your car, and you look in your mirror, I think they're just oblivious to what they're doing. I don't think they have any idea. But I don't know. I'm convinced, though. I am. More problems driving the Blue Roo with other drivers than the Super Duty. I don't know why that is, but I think it's true. All right, it is first thing in the morning, and boy, do I got something to show you. Wait till you see this. We're going to make a few bags, and then I'm going to show you what we got that will drastically increase production. So check this out. I mentioned the other day I had ordered one of these. This is a Tackett twisty tie machine. Now it may not seem like much, but I'm going to show you how easy this is. Done. 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 Yeah, so this is the Tackett twisty tie machine. You got the big spool there on the back. This little bugger was pretty expensive. It was about $2,000, and I've been kind of dragging my feet on this for the longest time just because it was a lot of money for the size of the machine and what it is. However, here's the way I see it. It was taking about 8 seconds per bag using a regular twisty tie. You know, that's pulling it out of the box, spinning the bag, and putting the twisty tie on. So for every 1,000 bags, that's over 2 hours of time just to put twisty ties on. Now with this, let's say it's 2 seconds, those 1,000 bags will take about a half hour or less. So it's going to take a little while to get a return on the investment, but I think it was worth every penny. I really do. It works really well. This thing brings me joy. It does. Now we still have to put the labels on the bags, okay? But that is the next step. We're getting bags with the labels already on them. I think they're kind of printed on the bag. We're trying to finalize all that right now, but that takes probably another 4 seconds right there, just putting the label on each bag. So between the twisty tie machine and getting bags with labels on them is going to save a considerable amount of time. All right, so far the Tackett twisty tie machine is a big hit. Like I said, it's going to take a while to see a return on that investment, but as of now, I think it was worth every penny. It's definitely going to speed things up, and once we get new bags with the labels already integrated into them, that's going to help quite a bit as well. Those labels, that was a whole nother story. So I have to have product liability insurance, and that's really the case for probably just about any product that you sell. Many people don't probably do it, but I have insurance on everything else. I figured we might as well have that covered as well. So the labels had to be approved by the insurance company, saying this is not for human or animal consumption, all that kind of stuff. Had to keep sending stuff back and forth, but we got that all taken care of. But yeah, liking the twisty tie machine. You know what I'm not liking? The drones over New Jersey and other places. Have you been following this, or anyone that is watching this live in an area where these drones are flying around every night? I don't know what to think of all this. I believe, this is just my opinion. Here's what I think. I think there's been so much hype about this. Anytime there's any kind of light in the sky, everybody's saying they're seeing another drone. I also believe there is definitely something going on. There are drones in the air over New Jersey and other parts. I think they're ours, not like mine or yours, but the federal government's. I do. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're not telling us what they're doing. Same old story, you know what I mean? But if you figure in the military, the FBI, Homeland Security, DHS, you're talking probably $1.5 trillion a year budget to be able to figure this stuff out. So they have to know. They cannot possibly be that bad. Well, they can't be that bad to not know what's going on. It's just they're not telling us. So either it's really concerning and they don't want us to know, or it's something they're doing, testing. Who knows what they're doing? But I'd like to kind of get to the bottom of it. I would. Maybe it's just to see what everybody's reaction is to things like that. But I don't know. The other day, a local sheriff out there. Let me get a story up here. So this is a story I read last night. It says a fed-up New Jersey sheriff said he tried to track the mystery drones swarming the skies above his county, but they easily evaded the effort. Ocean County Sheriff's Office sent its own industrial-grade drone into the air Thursday in a bid to follow one of the 50 unmanned aerial vehicles a local cop saw coming off the ocean. So they think they're coming in off the ocean, off of a ship or something out in the ocean. They have no idea, but I think the federal government has an idea. I think they know exactly what it is. They're just not telling us. But anyway, it goes on to say the officer alerted state police, the FBI, the Coast Guard. They reported 13 drones with wingspans of 8 feet following one of their vessels. That was the Coast Guard. The mystery drones, which don't give off heat like more typical versions, swiftly maneuvered out of their clutches. But they're everywhere out there, and people are seeing them like every night, and they have been for a while. And all the government is saying is, don't be concerned, everything's fine. I have no idea. That is crazy. I don't know how I would react if those things were flying around here all the time. I don't know. If anyone lives there, anybody knows. I went down some rabbit holes last night looking into it, that they could be sniffer drones looking for like dirty bombs. I have no idea what they're there for, what they're preparing for, what we should be preparing for, and we just can't seem to get an answer. But the one answer I do have is this: Firestarter is available. Link in the description, pinned comment as well. This will definitely be it till after the first of the year, maybe the middle or towards the end of January. We'll just have to see how things go. But I think after the last couple of weeks, most everyone probably that wanted it has gotten it. I don't know. We sold out real fast last time, so we'll see what happens today. But I think that's about it. This video has been all over the place, but I like them. I do. I don't know. I just like, it's wintertime. You know what I mean? So I just try to bring you along throughout the day. Anything new or interesting, I'll show you. And I like that kind of stuff. But I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. And we'll catch you on the next one.